Greetings everyone, and hello here from Pintpot. Today we're going to take a quick look at the Engineer class. Engineers being one of the two support classes in Planetside 2, along with the Medic. Now Engineers, much more than Medics, are noticeably weaker than other classes in terms of their gunplay potential. Though their primary weapon, the carbine, is perfectly serviceable at a range of distances, given they lack the mobility of a light assault, it's much more difficult for them to get into good positions to flank the enemy. They don't have the raw staying power of the heavy assault, or the stealth features of the infiltrator. They also lack the raw damage output of the medic. So what do they have going for them? Well, the answer is that the engineer has a range of tools at their disposal which are absolutely invaluable to your side. The first and most important of which is the repair tool. If you're in a vehicle which gets damaged, all you need to do is hop right out, get out the repair tool and start healing it up. In short order you can get your tank back out to full health, get back in and resume the fight. Therefore, when starting to play Planetside 2, I recommend if you're pulling any vehicle, choose the Engineer class. That way you can get yourself in combat with the minimum of downtime. But what about normal infantry on infantry combat? Well, the answer is an nano-weave tool is also invaluable in this, because it gives you the capacity to heal up maxes. These bodysuits are absolute beasts in infantry v infantry combat, and it's absolutely invaluable to your side if you can keep them fully topped up and in the fight. In addition, the engineer has the ability to put down ammo packs. These will restore in increments all small arms munitions which have been fired by other players, and yourself. So this includes all ammunition from your primary weapon, your secondary weapon, and in the case of heavy assaults, their rocket launchers as well. Therefore, using an engineer in concert with medics can keep an entire assault force fully healed, fully repaired, and fully topped up on ammo for as long as necessary. Also, similar to the medic, it's an easy class to get experience and therefore cert points with. Repairing and giving ammunition to people will all give you experience points. Therefore you won't be entirely reliant on killing people to earn any cert points, which can be a boon in the early game where you're not quite as experienced. Now another key feature of the engineer is the ability to put down gun turrets. The default one available is an anti-personnel turret. It takes a few seconds for it to materialise once you put it down, and can only be placed on flat ground. However, once it materialises, it gives you the potential to control entire firing lanes. With good placement, this can be a devastating weapon. Though it leaves you vulnerable to being flanked or sniped, rushes into its firing lane can be absolutely destroyed. The shield gives you good protection against small arms fire from the front. You never run out of ammunition, and in the right circumstances it can deal a great deal of damage even to a tough opponent like a Max. Though as you'll see from this clip, once the guy manages to flank me, it's all over pretty quickly. Therefore, careful placement of where you put a turret is required. Turrets also have very wide hitboxes. This means that they also provide another decent source of cover. You can hide behind them, peek out, repair or shoot, and then return back to them without ever having to man them. Now you can probably tell from the footage that the gameplay, much more so than with the medic, is orientated purely around support as opposed to combat. One of the primary reasons for this is the sheer importance of maxes in infantry v infantry combat. Standard infantry can take 1000 hits, broken into 500 shields, 500 health. The exception being infiltrators, which can only take 900 as they only have 400 shields. In comparison, the max has an effective health pool of 10,000 versus small arms fire. Therefore, a well-supported max can absolutely dominate infantry combat. The combination of their extremely high firepower, their extremely large health pool, and their ability to be topped up by engineers makes them absolutely devastating opponents. Therefore, the primary purpose of the engineer, and the way that you can most assist your side, is making sure those maxes stay up. If you see an enemy max being healed by an engineer, remember to take that engineer out first, and if you're healing a max, use the max as a shield, as if you find yourself at the front of the combat, you won't last long, as seen here. So if you like the idea of playing primarily a support class within infantry combat, keeping those maxes topped up and those ammunition packs down, then the engineer is a great class for you. Now my next episode I'm going to take a look at infiltrators, and in a later episode have a look in more detail at the engineer class, what other abilities they can unlock, and what you should invest your certs in. In the meantime, have a good one, happy hunting, and Pintpot out.